And hello everybody, it is Dingle here and welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing super duper well. If this is your first time finding my channel on this small corner of the interwebs that we have, hello, my name is Mac Dingle, M-A-C-D-I-N-G-L-E. I live in Portland, Maine with my husband Jack. Yes, Mac and Jack. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as we post every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday of the week. Everyone don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up before you go. Let's hop into it because I'm really pumped about the video for today. I also have no idea what my bun is doing today. I like half love it and then also half of it is like lopsided, so I'm like keep having to like put it over there, but we're just gonna roll with it. It's too much effort to redo the bun. So guys, today I'm going to be showing you exactly how I edit my Instagram photos. I've surprisingly got a lot of questions on my DMs on how I edit my Instagram photos and what exact preset that I use and how I use it. Is it free? Is it not? Like all questions across the board. So I thought it'd be really fun to show you guys real time exactly how I edit my Instagram photos because one, my Instagram game has been slacking, but don't worry, there's still a lot of really fun stuff that I post on my stories and things like that. So head on over to my Instagram, it's mac.dingle, pretty self-explanatory. And my goal is to post every single day, whether it's on my story or on my feed or both. So make sure to go follow me over there. Anyway, so I'm gonna take you guys real time on how I edit one of my pictures so that I can post later today. That'd be really dope. So when you see that post over on Instagram, you'll know that you edited it with me here right on this video, which is kind of cool. And then I'll take you through a few before and after photos so you can see those because I think those are so satisfying, quite honestly. I love when people do before and after photos on their own Instagram stories. I live for that content. So I'm gonna do a screen recording on my laptop. You won't see my face for a while, but don't worry, you'll hear my voice. Let's walk through it exactly how we do it together. The first thing that I will do is go into my photos. And the first album that I will click into is my favorites album. And that's because when I import all photos into my photos library, there is so many photos. Let me see if I can find you an example. Honestly, I think this is just one example, but you see how many photos I can take of one single type of situation. I might only favorite like one or two of these photos, quite honestly. So if I go back into favorites, you can see there were probably like 100 or so pictures of this photo that I posted the other day, but we only got it down to like 4 or 5 and then we chose one. So that's the process how I get it down to my favorites photos. But then today what I want to do is pick out 1 or 2 of these photos that I've already narrowed down from a snowstorm that happened the other day with this really awesome tree. So I think I like this pose and this pose the most because I do like when my head is tilted up within a photo, mostly because it means that I'm taking up more space within the frame, within the picture, which I enjoy doing. I just love the composition of that more. I do like these other photos. It does show motion, which I'm a huge fan of, but I think what I'm gonna do for the sake of this picture is go with one with my arms down and one with my arms up to start. So you go ahead, and I'm sure there's a way to import them into the editing app directly, but I don't really know how to do that. This is just exactly how I edit my photos. I go ahead and do that, minimize the photos, and then the app that I use is Lightroom. It's Adobe Lightroom, and as you can see, as soon as I open Lightroom, I even use Adobe Lightroom and the presets I'm about to talk about on every single photo that I ever use, whether it's in real life or on my Sims photos, quite honestly. But then all you do is take the pictures that you want to edit and I drag them into Lightroom just like this, and it'll be the only 2 photos that show up here or that are selected. I click import there and they're here. And then once you select your photo, you click develop. And this is where we will live and breathe for the editing process of this video. The presets that I use, my friends, are the JC Marie presets. I think they're called technically JC Marie pastel presets or something like that, but we've got black and white. We have cool, which is my favorite one. We'll get back to that in just a second. We have faded. We've got pink, which is much more of a pinky undertone to it, as you can see. And we have warm, which is much more warm. So these presets, my friends, I actually don't think they are available. I think she's rejigging her presets because I see that she doesn't have desktop Lightroom presets available. I only see that she has her mobile packs available, which are equally as good, quite honestly. She has very different tones to them. She's got a spring pack, which is more springy and pastel-y and type of thing. And then she has a fall and winter pack available, and they're on sale, so snag them if you're interested. But if you are new to editing photos, it's very, very simple. The difference between desktop presets and mobile presets, and you want to look for those words within the names because that is telling you what type of preset they are. The desktop ones require the Lightroom app that I just showed you on my computer, which I believe is $10.99 or something a month. It's a subscription to Adobe Lightroom, which the whole Adobe suite is probably like a lot of money per month. But if you only want Lightroom and you know that you'll only use Lightroom and you won't use Photoshop or Illustrator or Premiere, like all of their editing things that do all different types of things, you can get Lightroom for only $9.99 a month. So it's not super crazy pricey or anything like that, but it is a subscription service. So that's Adobe Lightroom for the desktop app. For mobile presets, all you need is the free Lightroom app. It's free, it's on your app store, Android or Apple, whatever you have, and all of the presets that you buy can be edited by that free Lightroom on your phone itself. I don't use a lot of mobile presets. If I'm gonna post a iPhone photo, I use her mobile presets. I have the spring pack, which I really, really like. I do want the fall and winter pack though, so my eye is kind of on that one. It's on sale. Basically, as you can see, I love all editing things that JC Marie has to offer. Now that we've got that explanation out of the way, she only has her mobile presets on her website, which makes me think that she's rejigging her desktop one, but I have her desktop ones. When she has her desktop one, you best know that I will be letting you guys know that they are up on the site, because these are my absolute favorite presets that I've ever used on my photos, and I have tried a few different packs on my photos. But anyway, so I go into my desktop app where I edit my camera photos, and I always start with JC Marie Cool. That's just how I start. What I like so much about the Cool preset is it is sharper. There's definitely a lot more contrast within the photo, but I like it to be a little bit warmer. The only issue is if I started with JC Marie Warm, it's way too warm for me, so that's why I like to start with Cool, because it's like very sharp and there's just more contrast within the photo. I just really like it. And then I go ahead and lighten it up. These are the main sliders that I deal with when I edit photos. The first is exposure. I always want to go ahead and brighten up my photos just a little bit more. I love the airy nature and the light shining through the trees. I love emphasizing any lights within the photo. Then if you don't do the contrast and you just do exposure, you could run into the issue of looking a little more washed out than you mean to. So contrast just a little bit helps to set that off while still having the exposure and the lightness of the photo that you like. And then the other thing that I like to do while I'm up here is bring a little bit of warmth in here. And the reason why I like to do those three while I'm up here is because you can see when I upped the warmth on the photo, it definitely got a little more overexposed than I would like. So I want to take down the exposure just a little bit now while still keeping the warmth of the photo. So I think I'm liking that. I would like myself to stand out a little bit more in the photo so you can still get my shape and things like that. The next slider that I like to go for is clarity. So if I put this up just a little bit, I can see all of the different points and like have stuff just shine through a little bit more in the photo. It just sharpens up everything within the photo and I don't feel as lost when I look at it. And sometimes I do like to play with the vibrance a little bit, but in this photo, I'm just gonna set it back to where it was, maybe one little bit up. But I usually leave that alone. And then saturation, I'm not a huge fan of saturation in my photos. I like more of the neutral warm tone of my photos versus saturation. Saturation, as you can see, is just very colorful. The more you go, I'll even do it just for fun. So you go like this and you can just see there's so much color shining through there, but it's just not my vibe. So I keep that down there. And then something that you probably can't notice, but I definitely can just because I've edited photos a lot, is the skin tone. I feel like I look a little bit pale, but even some redness is showing through on my skin. Again, this photo is not focusing on my face, but it's something that's popping out at me and kind of bothering me. And just a few tips on the skin tone. So within luminance, you can go through and lower the orange so that you look a little more tan, your face is a little more standout. The only issue is the redness on my skin or the shadows that my smile is creating all around my mouth are now showing up. So what I want to do is go to saturation and I want to decrease the red and the orange a little bit so it's not as like colorful. You see what that's doing? It's definitely shadowy, but that's just the nature of your skin, honestly, if you're just doing stuff without makeup, but it's not as colorful. So when you're happy with the balance of orange luminance versus orange saturation, I think that's pretty good. And then once you've played with the level as far as luminance and saturation goes, warmed up your picture as much as you would like, go ahead and just zoom out a little bit. And I like how it's looking overall. There are a lot of tools up here where you can like even out your skin tone and paint and all that stuff. I'm just not an expert when it comes to those, so I like to just stick with my sliders because that's just like what I love and know. The other sliders that you could play with are the whites and the blacks. But the beauty of the Jason Marie presets is she already takes her whites down and her blacks are already up, so it's just this really nice balance. That's why I use them. I usually don't really mess with those because I love the tone of them anyway. Again, it's all preference at this point. I could just get super nitpicky of my photos, but I think we like this. I think I'm just gonna go with it. And then if you know that you're taking these photos within the same environment and the lighting is not far off between the photos that you're going to edit, what you can do is do this copy over here, and it just automatically checks every single thing that you have done to that photo. Copy it, and then you can paste it directly onto your next photo, which is pretty dope. I'm a very, very happy girl when it comes to that. Saves you a lot of time because of all the fidgeting that you did with the other photo. You can now apply to this one, which is so dope. And I like how I stand out in the photo. You can tell that I'm there. You can tell my body language. You can tell what I'm doing. And another main focus of the photo was this massive tree in the background. So you can tell that it's like heavy with snow. I like that. And all it took was clicking one preset, which was an amazing start to the photo, and then adjusting the little sliders that I went through within this video. That's all I do. So then once you're happy with it, you can go File, Export. I have a subfolder called Instagram Photos within my computer, so I just make sure to export directly into that because that is exactly where I keep all of my Instagram photos. And the best way to get your photos from your computer over to your phone is by airdropping them. You can also use Google Drive or Box or something like that. When you're dealing with desktop photos like that you took with a camera and that you edited within the desktop Lightroom app, I would not text your photos and I wouldn't email your photos. The problem with texting and emailing is it does compress the photo. Even if you say like do the original size, it will compress it in order to send it to people more efficiently, even if it's just a little bit. If you just took like the crispest and like edited it exactly how you want, you just don't want any compression like messing with the work that you just put into your photo, you know? So what you want to do is airdrop it to yourself. I don't have my phone around me, but if my phone was like on and near me, my icon would show up here and you can just simply airdrop it. It's literally like physically transferring it from your computer to your phone. No compression whatsoever. That's why airdrop is very much recommended. So at this point in the video, I'm going to run a few before and after shots because I think those are so satisfying. And for me at least, it also just justifies the amount of time, even if that did take literally only like 10 minutes or so of me editing photos. It justifies that extra effort that I put into editing the photos because I can see the vast difference that it does make on my photos. I love the vibe that these JC Marie presets give my photos, whether it is the desktop ones or my phone ones, because I usually do use desktop photos and camera photos to post on my Instagram. But sometimes honestly editing the photos, depending on how well the preset just goes on right away and I don't have to adjust a lot of stuff, it could take like 5 minutes from taking the photo from my SD card to importing into Lightroom, making a few edits, exporting, and then airdropping it to myself. It could take so little time. So I'm really glad that I shared this process with you because it's something that I've been getting a lot of questions about and I don't know why I haven't shared it before, quite honestly. But after seeing that JC Marie's desktop presets are not available at the moment, I do use her mobile presets. I don't use a ton of iPhone photos on my Instagram. I have an iPhone 8, yes, an iPhone 8. So the camera is just not as good, and to put iPhone photos like next to my camera photos, you can super see the difference because my iPhone camera is not as good as the 10 or whatever, or the 11 and stuff like that. So that's why I don't use a lot of iPhone pictures. But if you do want to see how I do edit my iPhone pictures, whether I post them on my feed or my story just to spruce up the photos a little bit, make sure to comment below that you want to see how I edit my mobile photos using the JC Marie mobile preset pack that I do have. have, I would be happy to do that for you guys. But otherwise, just let me know if you have any questions on the process that I did share with you today. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. If you guys are new and you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I post every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, my friends. Everyone, do not forget to give this video a big old thumbs up, and I'll see you on Friday, everybody. See you later, bye!